So, Robbie, we're going to jump right in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we're not even going to do the I'm Thomas from Believe the Run.
I'm Robbie from Believe in the Run.
We'll skip that part and go right into it.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times, like, we're not those people that are always showing our running or our stuff. Like, we don't daily put in our Instagram, hey, look, we're running. But I want people to know that we're putting the gear into use. And you just did a 50K, and it's one of those times where you get to kind of use all the fun stuff.
Yeah, it is nice because especially the kind of 50K that I did, which had a bunch of different terrains and conditions, you can really, put all the gear to good use.
And loops, I was given, it wasn't wrap it up, this was loops, because that makes it easier to maybe get, like, you don't have to stick with the same gear you started with necessarily.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's give a little bit of conditions. First off, you ran the Hat 50K, which is in the Susquehanna State Park in Maryland, which is a lot of elevation.
Yeah, decent elevation, around 5,000, I think, is what I saw in most people's Strabas, including my own.
The weather there,
yeah, unpredictable. It's March in Maryland, which means
is roll the dice.
you get snow, 75 degrees, mud, rain, dry, you don't know. For the week leading up to it, it was pretty much guaranteed it was gonna rain. So I was looking for shoes and gear that would kind of help me in those conditions.
Nothing.
It's hard to really dial that in. I feel like I did a pretty good job, so.
Why don't we start with like the gear, like
all right,
watch, all that stuff.
So starting out, I used the Gore-Tex Concurve waterproof jacket.
Is that new one we got, that yellow one?
Yeah.
That's nice.
I love that jacket. It's fantastic. The cut, the fit, the stretch, the waterproof ability, everything.
Dude, the magnet hood.
Magnet hood's awesome. I wore an Art Elect merino t-shirt underneath. By the way, temperatures are like 52 degrees and raining. Ultimate Direction convertible gloves. Myler running half tights, work half tights. My favorite racing shorts right now.
Road or trail.
Yeah, just all together. Swiftwick merino socks and my Coros Apex 2 Pro, of course. It's the best.
Did you use any of the like the heart rate strap or anything with it?
So I had the heart rate strap on, except I forgot to pull it up on my arm, so it was like a brace. Because I went to put my rain jacket on because the cuffs are tight, so I couldn't like. I had to put the jacket on and then pull it up, but I forgot to pull it up. Aside from that, I think that was pretty much the.
So no hydration pack, nothing like that?
Patagonia vest, hydration vest, which is it's like a very lightweight, slim down, just kind of everything you need, nothing you don't.
So with the conditions being muddy, river like you could say, what did you go with for shoes?
All right, so first round, this is one of my favorite shoes, the Topo Athletic Mountain Racer. The first version I loved. I ran a ton of miles in, did some ultras in that shoe. So this is the Mountain Racer 3, which actually came out, I think, 2 years ago. So it's not a new shoe, but and by the way, I took the laces out because I had washed everything.
I thought you were just a player.
But I had wanted to run in this shoe because I like the versatility of it. It has some pretty deep lugs.
It has some good teeth on it.
4 to 5 millimeter lugs, maybe more.
And that's Vibram?
Vibram Mega Grip outsole. It's a little bit of a lower stack, so it's like a 33 range in the heel, 5 millimeter drop. I think the only issue I had with this, and this our other reviewers kind of said this, is that once you get moving in it and kind of experience a bunch of different terrain, the midfoot becomes a little loose, which I did feel like happened. The grip was awesome in the mud and on wet stuff. I really love that. It's pretty lightweight for how much you got underfoot.
Not waterproof though, like this is getting soaked.
For sure, yeah. So, but it drains pretty well, so didn't have any issues there. So the only thing is that when I was on the road sections or the gravel sections that were a little bit harder underfoot, or more firm, I felt like the lower stack in the forefoot kind of was a little bit harsh. So I think I even said in our podcast that it had a rock plate, which it doesn't. But it just felt like under the ball of my foot, like that was
You just
hitting.
weren't getting that resilience.
Yeah, and then especially when the trails are cambered and I was kind of like sliding into that spot too. Like I said, with like the lockdown wasn't as great when you're out there for a while.
I mean, I've run that course. No shoe is going to be comfortable the whole time.
True.
But it is a tough course because you're going from softer trails and single track to when you hit that road section, all of a sudden you're like pounding.
Yeah. when we got to the halfway point or the mile 17 aid station, I was kind of thinking I should change my shoes. Also change gear because why not? Take 5 minutes.
The best way to run this one is run the first 2 loops conservatively and then see what you got left for the final loop.
Yeah, and I felt pretty good, so I was excited to keep it going. And so I changed rain jacket and shirt, so I threw on this Satisfy Cloud Merino, which
Gotta flex.
is probably my favorite shirt, one of them of all time.
Oh, wow.
It's the most comfortable, breathable, I don't know.
Plus, it's practically camouflage. Nobody's finding it in the woods.
So, now, whether or not that's worth the $200 whatever dollars it costs, I don't know, but it's good. Anyways, so I switched into that, and then the John G. Rain Runner pack jacket, which is another great rain jacket. Switch socks into the alpaca wool socks.
I do like those. They're on the thicker side, so if you have a tight-fitting shoe, it may not be the best choice, especially if your foot's expanding halfway through a race. I'm guessing you handled it fine.
Yeah, and I Vaselined up my feet, flaming lip style.
She likes.
Yeah. So it was no blisters there. And then I switched into the Nike Ultra Fly.
You hate laces.
I do. So yeah, I washed the laces in these. Oh, it smells terrible. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks
it
so
really
pretty.
smells bad.
So these originally, I don't know if you've seen the original pictures. Carl will probably throw it up there. It's a bright white shoe. I did notice some discoloration around my collar. It's turning a little yellow. I can see that in yours. But now you've got a nice gray weathered shoe, and I have to say, that looks pretty.
I like the broken in look of it.
Patina. I think they call that a patina.
They did okay. It's a cool vibe. So of course this is Nike's race day shoe. It has a Zoom X midsole with this Cordura wrap around it.
And this one does have a plate.
This does have a carbon fiber plate. Vibram outsole, Mega Grip, but also
the lugs are a lot smoother there.
I'd say they're about a third of the
quarter maybe.
Athletic. Now, when I originally reviewed this, I felt it was a little for Nike, too much room in the upper. The grip was obviously improved, much better than Nike Trail, but I still thought it was a little bit unstable, maybe not the best.
Did it feel a lot lighter than the Topo shoe?
Not necessarily lighter, but I will say if you can get on anything that's runnable, it's just...
You can pick it up?
Yeah, I felt... When I got to the road sections, I could just pick it up. It feels like a racing shoe. It felt like it brought back life into my legs where I could just get into a groove and then just keep going in it. Obviously, the grip wasn't as good, but in those conditions, it was so sloppy and muddy that...
Not much.
It really didn't even matter that much. I just felt the comfort in here because you have 38 millimeters of stack in the heel, and it's a fairly lightweight package. I think it's under 10 ounces.
I mean, it's basically the Vaporfly for the trail.
Yeah. By the way, the guy who won Believe Run Club, shout out. They meet in this space right here every Thursday night.
You can too.
The dude who won, Chris, he ran a 422 in this shoe for that race. I had some other shoe options out there, but I felt like for that race in those conditions, I felt like these were two pretty solid options. Maybe I would have gone with something with a little bit more lugs on this, but this was the shoe that I had there at the time.
I've been loving the Norda. The 001. Did you even think about that?
I did think about the 001, but because there's not as much ankle support for me, my ankles are all jacked up, so I was kind of in those conditions, kind of not being able to see where you're stepping and rocks underwater and stuff. I stayed away from them, but I've worn them for other trail stuff and races, and I love them for that. Hopefully get to running some more new shoes coming out. We have the Hoka Speedgoat 6, some other nice iconic or key trail shoes coming.
But I think this is great because a lot of times when we're reviewing shoes, we're reviewing something that's on the bleeding edge, maybe something you can't even get a hold of yet. You're showing two shoes, one that's now widely available, and the other one that's probably even on sale at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure when the 4 is coming, but again, this has been out for 2 years, this is a year, so it's nice to go back to the shoes that we reviewed in the past and kind of give another fresh perspective. And yeah, they're still pretty great.
All right, well, that's it for this one. Robbie, thanks for sharing your gear picks with us. And what's up next for you?
Well, we're doing the Boston Marathon. Then we got some Solomon. I'll be running in Solomon's out at the Golden Trail Series with the Broken Arrow Sky Race. So.
Yeah, and we'll be doing quite a big hangout up there. So if you want to hang out with us and the rest of the trail team,
definitely.
Not everybody on the trail team, but some of the other trail members, you can come out to Tahoe and see us at the Golden Trail Series.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching.